Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for my second battle report for Age of Hannibal Fantasy. Today we're playing a 1,000-point game using our Warmaster miniatures. I've got a Tomb King's army from 10-12 years ago, and I've got a High Elf army from 10-12 years ago as well. So you can see you take a couple of stands and you put them in these 3D, I printed these 3D 40mm bases. They fit in nicely and they become exactly the same size as my Norse and my Britons and Orcs and whatnot. So yeah, it works really well. You should give it a go. Today's a 1,000-point game on a 3x4 foot field. Back here you'll see a river. That's the end of the map essentially. You can't go beyond that for any reason. And features of the battlefield are the columns as usual, the borderland columns. Trees, some crop fields, a few buildings, and some plowed fields as well. The buildings you can't move through. They do block line of sight. The fields you can absolutely see through. They don't block line of sight at all, but they will degrade your movement. You'll be using your slower movement rate as you move through them. We've got some unusual units here, like the High Elf Eagles. These are flyers that we're counting as light cavalry today. So they can interpenetrate any unit, even enemy units, because they fly over top of them. And light cavalry are free-forming anyway, so they don't move too quickly. They still move, 8 inches. And they can fly into bad terrain and land, counting that full 8 inches as well. However, if they start their move inside bad terrain, they get their lower movement rate, which is 4 inches. So it's a little tougher to take off. It's easy to land, but it's tougher to take off. Anyway, those are the forces. This is Adam's first game, and I think he did pretty well. Anyway, to the battlefield. Let's get going. Okay, so I'm playing with my nephew Adam. Adam, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. We just finished our turn 1 of our Age of Hannibal game. We're playing with the High Elves here and against the Undead. This is a 1,000-point game. Eagles will count as light cavalry. This is like an Ent. It's going to count as an elephant. Archers, lots of archers, spearmen. There's my general right there. And let me see, this is artillery. The bolt throwers are artillery. We both have mages as well. Mine's currently in the woods. The mages have an artillery ability. They fire magic missiles. And then over here on my left flank, I've got 3 units of heavy cav, elvish heavy cav, which are also veterans. And then a backup unit of, mixed. Over here, Adam's got a big long line of a little bit of everything. Archers, artillery. That's your general in the back.
Spearman.
Yep, spearman. Mage out front, because mages can't be targeted, so you might as well put them out front. They cannot be attached when they do when they fire their magic missile. If they're attached to a unit, they can't fire their magic missile. Good big unit here in the middle. It went through the trees, so it moved kind of slow. And then he's got a unit of heavy cav, same as me. 1 unit of flyers, but he's also got 3 units of chariots. So it's just turn 1, so it was actually kind of boring. We're just moving towards each other right now, and I don't know. We'll get on to turn 2. Yep. Okay, so in my turn 2, I've got my heavy cav all together here, moving up on my left flank with some support, because these guys are going to go in, and hopefully they do well, but if they don't, I still need this flank secure. My mage is moving forward, getting ready to cast, because we're getting pretty close now. And then I just got my whole center here split up so it could go around these buildings. And then over here, this is just a cautious advance over here to see what happens on my right flank. I might just stall them, but otherwise, that's it. That's my turn 2. Okay, Adam, so you just finished your turn 2. Tell me what you did.
Basically just moved the line forward, kind of angling slightly towards the right. So I'm thinking I'm stronger over on this side.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Yeah, and then basically try to like angle my army over to this side and then make the rest of them come around.
Okay.
And then use these as delaying troops, basically.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a pretty tidy line so far. And over here, you definitely outnumber me because I've got my heavy cav over here with some soldiers for backup, for some reserve. But yeah, I'm really worried about your 2 artillery units right there in the middle. So okay, so my turn 3. I move the cavalry up a little bit here, but one of the stanzas in the rough. I'm still moving this up as a backup. I'm being sneaky with my mage and moving him into this field because mages' characters can't be targeted, right? So I'm going to break off this artillery so these guys can move on their own and they can actually go through here. Now they'll fit through here, whereas with them they couldn't. These guys, general advance. These guys stay put, actually. They're slowing down, so nothing really happened there. All right, that's my turn 3. Okay, Adam, so on your turn 3, tell me what you did.
So I just moved this line forward, split them off from the artillery, have them kind of angled on the back so they can hopefully fire into there.
Yep.
These guys just wheeled a little bit into position. And then these guys, I actually moved them back an inch, and I moved them back an inch, and then flew these guys a little bit back. I want to force him to come to me. I basically waste these guys' time.
Well, yeah, you want to see what I'm going to do before you commit that flank. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And chariots, and we know chariots they're hit or miss, right? They're not great once they get stuck into close combat. So yeah. I don't think that's a bad idea. So over here, you got a lot of force over here, and I think letting this sort itself out first is a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially with that artillery support there. So, yep. All right, and that's your turn 3.
Yep. There we go. So it's been your turn 4.
So my turn 4, I move my heavy cav up here. So I can charge you next turn, but you can't charge me. These guys move 6. Heavy cav moves 6. These guys are still moving to back up this whole line. These guys, in my turn, or you shot me. In your turn, you shot me. So these guys got hit by the mage and
artillery.
And the artillery. So 2 hits, they got to back up a base. So that's gonna be hard to rally. Over here, the artillery is still broken off. It's got a lot of targets, a lot of stuff within 12 right now. These guys moved up a little bit. Over here, this artillery here is kind of broken off from the main group. So this group should be like this, but this stand keeps falling over, so I put them forward a little bit. So I've got a group here, independent artillery, and then I deliberately left my treant, my ant out here, daring Adam to charge it, which he did. One guy did not pass. These guys are fearsome, so one guy did not pass his fearsome test, and he actually backed up. But the second unit came in and did, and had enough speed to lap around. So now I got to lap around on this side, and we're about to do that combat right now. So Adam, you just finished your turn 4. Tell me what happened.
All right, so this line basically just stayed still. They're going to get charged. I attached my commander to that unit.
Knowing that was going to happen?
Yeah. The artillery moved up just a couple inches, hopefully providing some support shots in there. Same with the mage. This line just wheeled and moved up an inch. I think these guys might be within shooting range, but nobody else yet. So they're just kind of getting ready for them to come in and possibly them.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong center. I like that.
Yeah. And then my cav, because they're just going to take artillery shots and they can't charge through the rough terrain. They actually just turned around and ran away to get out of range.
Yeah.
So they'll come back when it's more advantageous to them.
Not a bad
hopefully.
idea.
And then the Cav charged the Treant, except for this guy, he got scared. But they ended up kind of losing the combat, so he took a hit. And then the Flyers just kind of moved off to the side out of the firing arc of the archers.
Yep. Yeah, so that was our first close combat of the game right here, and unfortunately the Treant just barely eked out a win, so you've only taken one hit there.
Yep.
And at the end of turn 4, our morale clocks are still 9 and 9.
It's your turn 5.
Yep, so the end of my turn 5, a lot of things happened. All 3 of my heavy cav charged up in here into this line. These guys move forward so that if there is a flank, I can probably take advantage of it. There was a lot of shooting this turn, and I did get a couple of hits on you as well. I hit your artillery with either my artillery or the mage, I don't remember, but it was only one hit. And then there was some shooting over here that got some single hits, so that was good. So that moved that's going to move your clock up quite a bit. And then over here, this line went forward a little bit, and I turned my archers over here to face, thinking that this combat might actually go on more, but it didn't. So my flyers went in here and charged your supporting chariots, and I got the worst of it. So I took a disorganized on that, but we're still in combat. In here, I managed to get another hit on your chariots, so the double D has backed him up a little bit. So these guys aren't needed. And yeah, that's it. I don't think I'm going to put any characters over here and attach to this to help it rally, because it's on a 2. So one artillery shot over there onto this would eliminate the unit, and then the character might be eliminated as well. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of my turn 5. This is the end of your turn 5. Mm-hmm. And at the end of my turn 5, your morale clock went down 1. But it looks like this turn it's going to be me. Tell me what happened.
So let's see. Here, I flanked around with that unit and then just moved these 2 forward. They stayed put. This line just moved forward a bit. These guys turned around. I think they moved back a little bit, then turned around just to stay out of range.
Artillery range, yeah.
Yeah. And then, let's see, the Flyers flanked your flying unit, and they were killed in that combat. The chariots actually beat them.
Yeah, because I was down 2. I'd taken a disorganized, and then you flanked me, so I was a 0 in that combat, and you were only a 1.
Yeah.
But
and then this chariot was too afraid to charge the Ent.
yeah, he failed his fearsome test.
Yeah, and then this chariot kind of moved from here to zigzag and form up a unit together.
Yep. That's about it.
That's it.
And at the end of your turn, my clock is going to go down 1.
So it is now your end of turn 6.
End of turn 6, and it was a bad turn for me. So the combats in here didn't go so well. I took another disorganized in here because there's just so much support over there. Plus spears versus mounted, it's not going well. I would really hope to destroy these archers on the end here, and that would allow me to flank the whole line, but it's not happening. You had some spears in here for support, so I charged them with my spears and got the worst of it with a disorganized. These guys move forward a little bit so that there's no flanking going on here. If you do it, I'll get it back to you. These guys actually turned around and moved back, so I'm trying to rally them. They need an 8 to rally with 2 like that, but because these Ents count as elephants, so they need a 6 minus 2. They need an 8 to rally. Oh, I haven't moved my characters yet. I'm gonna move this guy. Let me just move him up there. And I like that mage standoff there. Some shooting in here, inconsequential. Charged in here and actually lost. So the spearmen lost to the archers in here, and that was too bad. And there was an archer unit in here that went in with the spears, and they are gone now. So right there, that's got me to change my clock. So my clock is now down to a 7. My morale clock is down to a 7. And then over here, moved up into the field. But here, my ant charged your chariots and did a 1. Even though I was like a +7, and you were +1. I didn't manage to double them up. And in here, this ended up being a draw. Archers charged in because I don't want to get charged by chariots, so I decided to do it first. And while it's even, anyway, it didn't pay off. It's a draw. So my clock is now at a 7, and your morale clock is at an 8 at the end of my turn 6. Okay, Adam, so we just finished your turn 6, and what a turn it was. What happened?
Went pretty well for me. So, what was it? I think I flanked here.
Yep.
I moved the archers just there because I couldn't charge.
Yeah, you didn't have the movement. Yep.
Yeah, and then in the combat here, these guys lost and got pushed back. This cav unit got destroyed.
Yeah, there was a heavy cav unit there.
And this spear elf unit got destroyed.
Yep.
And then here, there was, I think, a spear elf unit.
That's right.
They got destroyed.
Yeah, you flanked it and doubled it up.
Yeah.
Gone.
And then here, I think you just took a disorganization.
Yeah.
These guys just split off and moved up to charge, the next turn or whatever. These guys also moved up.
Yeah, you finally brought them back from the rear.
Yeah. Then here, I think I moved the one chariot to flank.
Yep.
Or I guess that's just like continuing combat. And somehow the chariots won.
Yeah.
So it gave the tree in disorganization. And then here, the chariots fighting the archer unit, they won.
There used to be an archer unit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no contest.
Yeah.
So yeah, after a while, I just stopped checking my my clock, all my hits for the turn.
Yeah.
So at the end of your turn 6, my morale clock sits at 6 now, and yours is at 8. It was a better turn for me, but I rallied almost nothing. So I've still got a lot of red over here. No, I did rally something over there. I don't remember. It wasn't important. That's not the flank that's going to win the game. So over here, I actually took my cavalry that were in combat here. Not in combat, but they've been pushed back because they're doubly disorganized. So I actually turned them around and moved them out of charge range. So that was one. Maybe they'll rally and get back in the game. These guys, I did the same thing with these archers. They're doubly demoralized. So turned around. Back here, these ants are... I just ran them back so that they're out of range of everything. I think even now you're mage. So I can try and rally them, but I don't think they're going to get back in the game. Over here, some artillery did hit your archer here, and they had to back up. I also got rid of an artillery unit in here that you once had, so that was good. In the combat phase, my heavy cav finally won in here. Got another disorganized on you, so you're backing up. I wish that had happened 3 turns ago. This was a draw. Charged into you here, that was a draw. But I did lose a unit in here, didn't I?
Yep.
Gone. Other than that, these guys, everybody stood tight because this has got plenty of targets. So unless you come after it, it's just going to stay there and shoot. And these guys are not too bad in bad terrain. They're better than your heavy cav in bad terrain. So I'm just hanging out there. And over here, this was totally inconclusive. Nothing happened in here, but I was flanked, and we ended up tying here, so nobody took any damage whatsoever. So your chariots are doing really well against ganging up on my ant over there. But you did lose 3 units that turn, so that's going to take your morale clock down to 7. And that was the end of my turn 7. I won that round, but my army is looking pretty bad. Okay, Adam, so that's the end of your turn 7.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was a good one for you. So tell me what happened.
Let's see. I charged in here into your flank and you turned to face. And you took a disorganization.
Yeah, I got the worst of that.
These spearmen charged into here, and the archers flanked. I ended up losing that combat, so I took a disorganization.
Yeah, luckily I had my general there.
Yep.
That made the difference.
Um.
In here, this is nasty in here.
Yeah, then here, I think these were already in combat, and these guys just flanked.
Yeah.
And so you took a disorganization there.
Yep.
And then here, my cavalry moved up to join with the archers so that they can charge next turn. And then my birds are also able to charge.
Yep.
Next turn.
Yeah, the flyers count as light cavalry, so they have free facing and thrown weapons. Awesome. And then over here, finally, look at that surround sound.
Yep, the chariots finally got him on 3 sides, and he lost by 1, so he only took 1 disorganization.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad roll. That was an easy, it could have been an easy double, but yeah, it ended up being 1D. So I took 8 hits in that turn. You only took 1.
Yeah.
So at the end of your turn, my clock is going down to 5. Oh dear. So my morale clock is 5, so I'm 1 away from having to start assigning hits. All right, that was a pretty good turn.
Yeah. All right, so this is the end of your turn 8.
Yeah, so turn 8 was a really bad turn for me. Very bad turn. In here there was a combat. Actually won it because you were 1 up on me there. So I managed to do a disorganized in there, but hey, gonna get flanked soon. These guys actually ran away a little bit more, just in case anybody had aspirations of charging them. But the big problem was in here, my general was attached to a spearman unit to try and equalize this, and you doubled me up on that. So I went from being fine to being dead because I'm flanked, and I just rolled a 1 for my general, so my morale clock immediately goes down. It's now at 4, and the general is off the table. So he's gone. Let's see. These guys rallied, so they've actually turned around and they're coming back to the fight. Because why not? I committed my mage in here to this combat, which ended up being a tie, so nothing happened in here. And then I did manage to shoot your archer unit in there for during my turn for a disorganized. And then I took my archers and I turned them around and I attacked these birds that you had in behind here because I know there's a combat coming in here, but this was better. It was slightly better for me to do this than you because you're disorganized in bad terrain. So, and then over here, believe it or not, so the Ent, it was a very close roll. With everybody surrounding me and a disorganized, I'm actually rolling a +0. And you were only a 1, so it's very close. But I ended up doubling you up, so the chariot that was here disappeared. And now I have to turn to face the next one. So, yeah. So, by losing my general, my morale clock has gone down to 4. But you also took enough hits that your morale clock also went down. So, at the end of my turn 8, it's clock 4. Undead clock 6.
All right. So now, because your morale clock has gone down to 4,
yep,
you now have to assign disorganization points, 25% of your forces rounding up. And this is, of course, slightly partially through my turn because we forgot about it. But
yep.
So a couple units are already gone because of shooting. But
yeah, I took some hits from shooting, unfortunately.
No.
But we're not going to skip this. This is an important part of the game. So I've got 9 units on the table. So 25% of that would be 2, but it's over 8, so it's got to be 3. So I have to assign 3 hit markers. So I'm going to take 1 here on the artillery because they don't care. They still shoot fine. I am going to, and then I think over here, I probably would have taken 2 over here anyway because this flank is dead. It's gone. So I'm going to take my final 2 over here and take this heavy cav off the board. So 2 more. So there's my 3. And now I'm down to 8 units. Great. Okay, Adam. So at the end of your turn 8, which is going to turn out to be the final turn of the game, tell me what happened.
So, let's see. These guys just moved up, and then these guys joined them. These guys are coming up just to kind of move in that direction eventually. Not that it really matters.
Yeah, they got nothing else to do. There's nothing there.
Yeah, it's kind of messy and disorganized, but eventually, they would come around.
Yeah, that was a bad idea for me to advance my cavalry over there against so many spear units, right? So, and then you hit them as well with artillery. You could hit them with artillery and archer fire. So they're gone now at the end of turn 8.
No, I think it was just in here. You actually won that combat, and so this unit that was here is destroyed.
It was.
And so they just turned to face this unit.
Yep.
And then in here, I just charged the whole line forward. So it was these guys into them, these guys into them, and then these charged the archers that were in between.
Yeah.
So these guys won the combat, pushed them back.
Yeah.
These guys won the combat. They couldn't get pushed back, so they died.
That's right. Yeah.
And then here, I won the combat as well. You got it disorganized.
Yeah. Stayed put. But then over here, then what happened?
The chariots finally won the combat and killed the Treant.
That's right. The Treant got a second D, and he had to back up, and he couldn't. And so my morale clock is actually going to go down to 3, technically.
Yeah.
At the end of the turn. Av's morale clock is sitting at 6. So I think we're just going to call it.
Yeah.
Over here, there's nothing left. There's only undead over here. There's nothing. There's a Treant here that's going to get into battle, but he'll get his ass kicked. And then work our way over here. I'm outnumbered over here as well. And now you freed up the chariots, so theoretically they can come in and start doing some flanking as well. So, yeah. So I'm gonna throw in the towel, and I think that's game. Thanks very much for a good game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I won this time.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, the undead didn't have the most elite army. The high elves had fewer units, but a little more elite.
Yeah. Well, all this difficult terrain really messed up both of our armies.
Yeah.
It makes it so much slower to move guys into contact. Like the heavy cav, like my heavy cav, I was always reluctant to move them up because, they go from 6 to 3.
Yeah.
And they're very charge dependent. So it's hard to charge with only 3 inches of movement.
3 inches of movement, yeah. So all mounted are -2 in
difficult terrain.
In difficult terrain, right?
Yeah.
All mounted. I'm glad that happened because it's
funny.
It was deserved, yeah. And in the end, it was I rolled. I had a 1 and you had a 0. Wasn't that it? Yeah. So with a flank, but you beat me. So it was closer there than we thought.
Yeah, I think I rolled an 8. You rolled a 1.
Yeah. That was the end of it. So I'm gonna throw in the towel. Awesome. Thanks, man. That was a good game.
That was a good game.